When the offertory song begins, the cross-bearer takes the book and places it on the altar and then returns to their place. At the same time, the candle-bearers take the ciborium and the priest's chalice from the credence table and places them on the side of the altar. They return to the credence table and now take the communion chalices and the minister cloths to the altar as shown. Please note, servers should only take 2 items at a time. We do not want to drop any of these items. The priest or deacon then proceeds to the altar. He opens the book to the proper place and arranges the vessels as needed. The priest then comes around the altar and proceeds to receive the gifts from the people. The 2 candle bearers accompany the priest to receive the gifts. On occasion, there may be a need for the cross-bearer to also assist in accepting the gifts. In either case, the 2 candle bearers will stand on each side of the priest to receive the gifts. If a third server is needed, they should stand to the Joseph side of the candle bearer as shown. The priest accepts the gifts of bread and wine from the people and hands them to the candle bearers. The servers stay in position while the priest blesses the gift givers. Following the blessing, the priest turns back towards the altar. The candle bearers will then turn and proceed to the altar. Please note, do not place the ciborium or the flagon of wine on the altar. Candle bearers should stand at the side, waiting until the priest or deacon takes the ciborium from the first candle bearer. This candle bearer then returns to the credence table, returning to the altar with the cruet of water. The second candle bearer, with the flagon of wine, moves next to the altar and waits for the priest to take the wine. The first candle bearer returns and stands beside the second candle bearer. The priest takes the flagon of wine and distributes it among the chalices. He will hand the empty flagon to the second candle bearer, who returns it to the credence table. The first candle bearer, with the cruet of water, moves next to the altar. The priest will take the cruet of water and place a drop in the chalice and return it to the first candle bearer. The second candle bearer returns to the altar with the bowl and finger towel, standing to the left of the first candle bearer. The second candle bearer holds the bowl under the priest's hands, while the first candle bearer pours water over the priest's fingers. The water cruet needs to be high enough over the priest's hands so as not to interfere with the priest. Also, pour the water, don't dump it onto the priest's fingers. The priest takes a finger towel from the arm of the second candle bearer, dries his hands, and places the towel back on the arm of the candle bearer. Both candle bearers then bow to the priest and return the items to the credence table. They then take their places and kneel. Father says the words of consecration over the bread and wine. Take this, all of you, and eat of it, for this is my body which will be given up for you, and raises the consecrated host above his head. The candle bearer then rings the bell 3 times. The priest then raises the chalice and says, "Take this, all of you, and drink from it, for this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which will be poured out for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me." And the candle bearer again rings the bell 3 times. Following communion, Father returns all extra communion to the tabernacle and returns to the altar. The candle bearers assist in the purification of the vessels. One candle bearer brings the cruet of water to the side of the altar. Father takes the cruet and pours some water into the ciborium. He then gives the cruet back to the candle bearer, who returns it to the credence table. Both candle bearers now proceed to the altar. Father will wash the ciborium and chalice. He hands the vessels to the candle bearers, who return them to the credence table. Both servers now return to their place and all sit for a moment of reflection.